Today's bounty: clutch cover gasket, sprocket to the front, 16 tooth, sprocket for the rear, .36 tooth on the standard heavy duty chain in black. So today's episode is going to be changing the front and rear sprockets, fitting the chain and the gasket cover. Oakley dogley, rear sprocket held on by rubber dust seal. I pre-loosened these so they're not normally this slack. 4 bolts, circlip, washer, just gotta watch they don't fly off and dent your face, retaining ring, and that should lift out that dust cover. And then obviously you've got your sprocket bolts with your cush rubbers. I checked the cush rubbers, they're all good, they're not perished, they're not hard, there's some give and flex in them, so they're good. I'm going to keep those. I clean up the dust guard. As you can see from the sprocket, it is starting to wear, they are starting to hook over slightly. If I show you the new one as a comparison, there, so you can see there's definitely more meat on the new. So I'll give this a quick clean up and then we'll come back and we'll fit the new one. Welcome back. Nothing major, just give them a quick clean up. It's going to fit over a new sprocket. It's going to drop down over the nuts. These can be a little bit tight because obviously the other sprocket have worn, but it's a case of just working your way around, get him down, rubber or copper mallet, tap him down. He shouldn't be excessively tight, and you'll hear him seat. Do you hear the difference? Oh, now it's down tight. Then nuts, these got to be done up to a specific torque, which for this bike is between 43 foot-pounds and 51 foot-pounds. I'll just nip them up tight for now, nothing stupid. I'll torque those up once I got the rest on. Then we've got spacer ring, then our circlip. Now the circlip has got a square edge, can you see that, and a slightly rounded edge. Slightly rounded edge up. Again, watch you don't spring out with your circlip pliers. Circlip pliers have little grooves in the ends to help grip. Down in, and if he's not all the way in, we can use a little flathead screwdriver just to tap around gently, just to seat him. So I'll go and get a screwdriver. See? So he's just seated on there. That's it. So torquing up, I'm going to set initially to 40 foot-pounds, then I'll increase as I need to. So socket, $40. I'm doing a star pattern as well. $40. $40. So then I'll wind him up. I'm going to be happy with 45 foot-pounds. The book says 43 to 51. I'm happy with 45. Again, if you want to do him to 51, that's entirely up to you. The book says you can. That's it. So they're torqued up. That's all left to go on. The dust seal. This needs to sit over that spacer. This can be a little fiddly to get over and down and in, and it's like everything, you just gotta work your way around, pushing him down, seating him in. He will go. There you are. So I'll finish seat that in, then we can have a look at the front sprocket. I always lay the bolts back on the floor in a clock pattern, so I know where they came from, because these are all cement, but sometimes you will have casing bolts that'll be different lengths, sometimes even different thicknesses. I find it easy to just lay them on the floor in a clock and start from 1, 2, 3 and work your way around. If that helps you, great, use it. If not, forget it. It's a useless bit of information, but it works for me. I'll be polishing the heads back up on these where I sprayed them. I think I prefer them polished. There's a casing off, a little crack in the cover, but it's a dry side anyway, so I'm not too concerned with that. So I'll take off tripod, I'll show you the offending sprocket. There we go. There she is. Where are we? There. So we got to undo the two retaining bolts. Take that off. Hopefully with it in gear I can get the socket on there to release. So I'll put it back on the tripod and we'll have a look. Right, I'm trying to get you in there. It's a bit difficult, tight for space. What I've done is I've used a small ratchet just to lock the sprocket off. Normally you'd have the old chain on and you'd put the back wheel on the ground, and either somebody would sit on the bike with it in gear, or you'd block up the back wheel for it to stop turning and the chain would help. But because there was no chain originally on this anyway, so I'm using 10mm bar, and I'm using the handle of this socket because it's soft rubber, it's not going to damage anything, to stop that from spinning while I crack those nuts off. I've done the one, so this then can come back. There's one. Two. And then the sprocket. This may be like a keyway that'll only come off a certain way, like that, and then the sprocket pulls off. Now take note if there's any direction. There's no stamping, there's no numbers on there that I can see. So we'll get the new sprocket and we'll have a look, see if he fits. Right, Blue Peter, here's when we got it ready. Now again, both faces on this look identical. There's no markings, nothing, so I'm going to put, I always put numbers out if there's no direction to the sprocket. Let's see if he fits. It's going to be awkward because the camera's in the way. Oh, sorry. Let's check him. Against the other one. Looks like he should fit. Yep, there he goes. So again, that may need a little bit of persuading just to go on there. There, and then it's a case again of putting the lock washer back on, nuts, and do the reverse. I'll wedge the handle in here just to do him up. So that now has got to sit. Once you can get him on, you really are in the way. Alright, turn him. Right, so I'm going to have to turn the sprocket until everything lines up. So if we go a full turn and try no, so I've got to get him so he's on a flat like that. So I'm going to spend a few minutes spinning this round. I'll bring you back then once we're ready to nut him up. Right, there we go. I managed to get it lined up. So we're going to nip these up. And again, I'll do the trick with the socket handle. As you can see, giving you a clean out as well. I weren't going to leave it like that, even if you thought I was. There is a torque setting for these. It's in the book. It's up to you if you want to use it. I'm happy knowing that I've put enough pressure on. Like that. You just release our socket handle. And then it's just, that's on, that's done. You will have some play because he's bolted to this bracket, but it's on the cog teeth. So, cover back on. Gear shifter back on. Back wheel back on. Then we can look and put the chain on. Stay tuned! Right, I've got the chain ready. I've taken the split link out so the chain is split. So I'm going to feed it over the back sprocket, through to the front, round, and then bring the link in, and I'll bring you in for the closer look for that. So for now, so all I'm going to do is feed the chain over. A bit fiddly because the chain is nice and oiled up. Light is in neutral, so I can feed it around the sprocket. Back underneath the swing arm. Back on itself, and then the split link goes with the pins out to you. The solid link at the back. One in there. Bring this one together. This is where we may have to move the wheel forward to give ourselves some more play. So we wind our adjusters right back. Sorry if I'm in the way at the moment. Knock the wheel forward. Bring through. Right, so bring that up top, or yeah, I'll bring it to about here, and then I can bring you in closer and you can see what I'm doing then to actually link. Right, so there's our joining link, our split link. You get another solid rivet side that goes over, and then you get an open-sided clasp end, focus. You put that end over the one pin and push him forward to lock into the other one. So if I can get my hands out of the way. So I've put him over the first pin. Now he's got to be pushed forward to seat over that one. Sometimes you can push them. 9 times out of 10 you need pliers that'll open quite wide to catch the back edge and push over the front pin. It's going to be a bit fiddly, even more so because you're in the way. Let me get a screwdriver, see if I can push him with a screwdriver instead. Now, I'm going to have to move the camera, so we're going to have to take a step back, I'm afraid. Like I said, it's going to be quite, there we go, that easy. Put the pliers behind, bunk. I'll take you in for a closer look at that split pin so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. Let me get my greasy gloves off. Right, so split pin is there, focus, there. So you have to put him over the first pin to start with, and then push the entire pin forward over the front pin. Okay, put it back on the tripod like so. Move you back a little bit, lift you up a little bit, there we are. So I need to tension the chain now by winding these adjusters in. That'll pull the wheel back, but I've not got a wheel nut yet, so I can only loosely adjust it really until I get our wheel nut to crank and tighten down on everything. I have to make a chain guard as well because I haven't got one. But if I show you the adjusters, basically what you do is, that's your lock nut, but these you wind in, and if you can see, that's pulling the wheel back. We got a 1/2 inch here. Yep. Nope. There we are. Right, so as you wind them in, obviously you're pushing that stud against the back of the frame, so that's pulling the wheel, or pushing the wheel rather, backwards. You see the chain is starting to tighten up. We've got to do these even each side, because otherwise the wheel will be out of a line and you'll be going down the road crabbing. The way I check is you can measure, you can run the wheel, and I'm looking for a straight line on the chain with no kinks. The chain isn't grabbing on one side and clanking. You can hear this running nice and free. So, like I say, I can't really adjust them up fully yet because I haven't got a wheel nut. I'm just doing it at the moment just to take some tension out of the chain. But basically that will be chain and sprockets. We've got quite a bit more to take out. I can't adjust him until I get that nut, so I'm waiting on that coming back. But for now, I think we can call this video done. I'll replace the cover. I'll leave you see me doing that probably in quick time. So stay tuned.